Stress. It's your resistance towards what is happening in your life. The events or activities that go against our ideal of how life should be bring out frustration and negativity that make us dread the day ahead. Can you avoid this experience? Yeah, you can. First, we need to educate ourselves on the damage this inner resistance causes to our bodies so we can take its mastery seriously. Stress kills you, plain and simple. Multiple studies have proven its negative effects on both physiological and psychological level. If you're interested, I've linked a number of them below. Just briefly though, being stressed out causes your brain to signal the adrenal gland to produce cortisol. Your body enters in a fight or flight mode. Your muscles need more fuel to ensure survival, so cortisol initiates a process where amino acids are turned into glucose. The muscles use glucose for fuel. Then your blood vessels constrict and your heart rate increases, so more blood full of oxygen can enter your muscles faster, increasing your chance of making it out there alive. As a process, it has its place in evolution. Thanks to that, we survived all of them lions in Africa. However, in the 21st century, our stress is not in short bursts, but rather part of our day-to-day. We live in it. What happens? 1. Since cortisol turns amino acids into glucose, there are less amino acids for tissue growth and repair. When that goes on for a while, various organs lose certain functions because the cells responsible for those are either faulty or dead. When that happens, your body is not functioning at an optimal level and your health will gradually start to deteriorate. 2. You get sick more. Cortisol has a negative impact on the immune system. I've linked to the studies backing these claims in the description, by the way. To oversimplify it one more time, the immune system is comprised of white blood cells and a chemical transmitter called cytokines. If white blood cells are cops, cytokines are the dispatchers and the radio cops have in the car. Cytokines enable white blood cells to communicate with each other and organize a proper immune response. Cortisol makes white blood cells less responsive to bacteria by suppressing the release of cytokines, so essentially taking cops their radios. They become much less efficient. It also decreases the growth of white blood cells by blocking their ability to recognize cytokine signals. Your immune system goes weak, you're essentially lifting up your ass for bacteria and other toxins to thrust away with joy and ravage your insides without any resistance. Okay, so now you know that this negativity and mental frustration can actually kill you. Time to win. Here's how. There are two types of stress, predictable and unpredictable. You might know them as acute and chronic. Predictable stress is when you know you have to deal with something you don't want to be dealing with for a duration of time. For example, doing a job you don't like, being with someone that winds you up, taking exams, etc. You know you have to deal with this type of stress. Unpredictable stress is when a one-time undesirable event manifests in your life. This goes for sudden problems like accidents, finding out your significant other was cheating, that bitch, being fired, etc. Basically, when life is like, hey catch, and throws a shit back at you while you're looking the other way. Starting with predictable stress. There was a research done by scientists Crum and Langer where they told a group of female room attendants that their daily responsibilities categorized as great exercise. They were shown that cleaning rooms qualifies as exercise and were told that it satisfies the Surgeon General's recommendations for an active lifestyle. 4 weeks later, these women were tested and they showed decreases in weight, blood pressure, body fat, waist to hip ratio, and body mass index. Every coin has two sides. If you know you'll be dealing with something stressful, flip the script. You can remind yourself of the good and the positive things about the situation you're in, either before you go into it or during. This not only counters your negative self-talk, but changes your associations paradigm regarding that experience. If you have to do a job you don't like, the mind constantly tells you what you don't like about it. You've conditioned it that way and there's an established association paradigm. Boom, you think of your job, 5 bad things pop up with high intensity because of your repetition. If you start to remind yourself daily why you're doing this, what is the good in it, what are you learning, what does it allow you to do, what value do you provide, etc. Your association paradigm with that stressor gradually changes. So then when you think of that same job, your mind now returns the good associations you have fed it. Just like the room attendants who improve their physiology just by being shown that their work contributes to their health, you can open your eyes to the positive attributes stemming from your own situation. The better your associations for that job, the better you'd feel going there, the better you'd perform, the more good things will come out of it. So, if you're experiencing predictable stress, flip the switch and remind yourself on a regular basis of the positive attributes it has for you. Do this over a period of time and you will see a gradual increase in your satisfaction from that stressor. Unpredictable stress. Sounds like unpredictable sex. Weird. There was a study conducted by Crum, Salovey, and Aker. They introduced the idea of the stress is enhancing mindset. To oversimplify it for the third time, they discovered that when you educate someone on the enhancing effects of stress, they're more likely to deal with it in a better way. They had employees of a multinational financial institution go through the process of watching 3 different videos over the course of 1 week. The videos were about the enhancing effects of stress on health, performance, and growth. 3 days after the experiment, employees were surveyed and the researchers found increases in psychological symptoms as well as work performance. They also showed another group how bad stress is for them, creating a stress is debilitating mindset, and the opposite was found. Decreases in psychological well-being and work performance too. Even though the study was conducted over a short period of time, it establishes that your brain can stay prepared and calm, even in a storm. When we change our perspective towards unpredictable stress, then we don't see it as a way for the gods to punish us, but as a challenge, a lesson, a test for your character. When unpredictable stress happens, we react to this manifestation with a barrage of negativity, and only after that, we ask, what now? Can I solve this? What do I do? What if we jump from the unpredictable stress manifestation straight to the what do I do part? The first way to do this is developing that stress is enhancing mindset, priming you to be ready for unexpected events. Those events are often defining because of how we choose to respond to them. What you also need to know is that if you start to look for a solution after a negative sequence, you'll find the process harder and you're more prone to make a mistake because you're not thinking straight. So if bad things happen, take them as a character challenge, as a problem-solving riddle. When you cut out the emotional baggage attached to the unpredictable stress, you'll see how proud dealing with it makes you feel. The second and last thing is pausing after you discover the unpredictable stress. The difference between reaction and response is in the time frame. I find focusing on my breath the simplest way to detach my emotions from what just happened. Focus on the inhales and exhales until you don't feel the pressure, the urge to react anymore, and then just say, how do I solve this? Or what do I do now? Nothing left but to act. Your response will be faster, clearer, and more effective. All in all, predictable stress. Change your association network for it by going over the positive on a regular basis. Unpredictable stress. Develop a stress is enhancing mindset and pause after discovery in order to respond and not react. Hope I helped, man. This one was a bit longer, so thank you for choosing to spend your time here. That's a t-shirt I made for the topic. If someone asks you what the hell is on your t-shirt, you can teach them what you just learned and do your own part in helping people win at life. Thank you. And remember, a stressor is only a stressor if you perceive it as one.